Who are the best defensive center fielders of all time? I wrote a book and I looked at the 9 positions in the field, the best gloves on the baseball field. I looked at all 9 and I divided into categories of games, most games played, fielding percentage, most chances, putouts, assists, double plays, innings, and fewest errors. This video, fewest errors by a center fielder in baseball history. Who has the fewest? Ken Arzon here, Friday, April 17th, 2026. Now, this stack could be misleading. I have the top 10 fewest errors in baseball history by a center fielder, but it depends on how many games they played. If you play fewer games, fewer errors. More games, more errors. But which percentage of games to fewest errors? That's what I'm going to look at. So I have the top 10 as far as center fielders, starting with Kirby Puckett, committed 42 errors in center field, but caveat, played 1,432 games. Next, Larry Doby, 50, Duke Snider, 58, Mickey Mantle, 67, Ken Griffey, 76, Lloyd Wainer, 78, Hack Wilson, 84, Early Combs, 88, Joe DiMaggio, 100 errors, and Richie Ashburn, 110. That's the top 10. But Willie Mays had 143 errors, but he played 2,800 games. Ty Cobb had 208 errors. He played 2,194. So Willie Mays was better than Ty Cobb in center field as far as fewest errors. And then Tris Speaker committed 227 errors. But in his era, more balls were hit to the outfield. In Willie Mays' era, not as many, because there are more strikeouts in Willie Mays' era versus Tris Speaker's era. You can look it up. The percentage of strikeouts by pitchers from 1870 to 1950 was a certain percent. And then after 1950, that's a new school era, the amount of strikeouts went up. So as a result, not as many balls hit to the outfield. So Tris Speaker had more balls hit to the outfield than Willie Mays did. I proved it by he had more chances than Willie Mays, if you looked it up. So as far as the fewest errors percentage per games played, you got to say that Willie Mays is the best. 143 errors, but he played 2,829 games. Ken Griffey played 2,100 games and had 76 errors. So Mays had 70 more errors than Griffey. But Mays played 700 more games in center field than Griffey. So Willie Mays, according to this, is the best defensive center fielder as far as fewest errors percentage of games played. But there's a question, who's the best defensive center fielder of all time? I don't know. You've got Tris Speaker and Willie Mays neck and neck. Okay, when I looked at fielding percentage, remember that video? Kirby Puckett had a 990. Mays had a 981. And Tris Speaker had a 969. So there's two categories that Willie Mays topped Tris Speaker. He topped him in games played and fielding percentage. And then the third category, fewest errors percentage. So Mays has got 3 on Speaker. But if you go to chances, remember I did the video on chances for center fielders. Who had the most there? It was Tris Speaker. He had 100 more, roughly, than Willie Mays. So Speaker won as far as chances. As far as putouts, Mays beat Speaker in putouts. He beat him by 300. Mays had 7,000, where Tris Speaker had 6,700. So I've got Mays in 4 categories. Speaker won. But then you go to another category, which is assist. You got Speaker won the category in assists. He had 448 assists. Mays had 188. Speaker had 300 more assists than Mays did. So I've got 4 categories for Mays winning. I've got 2 for Speaker. All right, let's go to double plays. Remember that video? In double plays, Speaker had 146. Mays had 59. So it's 4 for Mays, and now 3 for Speaker. See, they're neck and neck. And then you go to the innings. Most innings played in center field. Mays won that one. He had 24,300. Speaker had 23,600. So what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to figure out who's a better defensive center fielder, the best defensive center fielder of all time. Is it Willie Mays or Tris Speaker? Those two are neck and neck. Well, they say, if you read the biographies, how many games? Let's see. Mays played about 140 more games. No, 200 and was it? Let's see. 2691. I'll do the math here. I want to be accurate. Mays played 2,829 games in center field. Speaker, 2829. Speaker played 2691. So Mays played, 138 more games in center field. But Speaker had more double plays, chances, and assist. Those are 3 crucial defensive categories, if you think about it. Speaker beat Mays in those 3 categories. Chances, double plays, and assist. That's defense. Now, Mays won in the innings. He won in the fewest errors percentage. He was catching a lot of balls over his head, remember? And Mays also had, he won in the putouts. Mays won in the putouts, just barely. But Speaker, double plays, assists, and chances. And then he was close in innings, very close in innings, and then close in games. I got to give it to Tris Speaker, being the best defensive center fielder of all time. No slight on Willie Mays, but he beats him in certain defensive categories. Sorry, the facts do not lie. Now, you say that Mays was a really good defensive center fielder. I agree. But Speaker gets a little bit edge over him. And read his biography. He played in on center field. He got a lot of double plays. That's crucial as far as getting outs. And he had more assists and more chances getting the ball. Now, Mays had more putouts, and he had a better percentage of the fewer errors. But you got to go with Tris Speaker. Sorry. Just by a little, though. They're very close. They're neck and neck. Agree or disagree on that one? All right, the next video, I'm going to wrap up center fielders, and I'm going to give you my top 10 center fielders of all time. But on this one, you got to add the offensive stats along with the defensive stats. Who are my top 10 center fielders of all time? I'll reveal it in the next video. I'm out.